Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. The Lakers Warriors LeBron James trade that needs to happen after Anthony Davis stunner. The Dallas Mavericks shocked everyone when they traded Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, and many people are still processing what happened, with the Lakers now having their player of the present and future that leaves LeBron James in the middle of this. There are talks that the Lakers might not be done, and some think that James could be the next player that they want to trade. Will James, who is expected to play at least one more full NBA season and maybe longer, still want to retire as a Laker now, as has long been assumed? We don't know yet. All that said, the Lakers can't think twice about how James might react. Getting Doncic in this manner gives them a window to build a new sustainable contender that seemed unimaginable a week ago. The Athletic's Sam Amick wrote in the event that James wants to get traded. There's no other place he'd rather want to go than the Golden State Warriors. Last year the Warriors reached out to see if James was available, and Rich Paul shut them down. Now with Davis gone and the Lakers looking to go in a new direction, there's a chance they could ship James out if he wants. James has always talked about how he wants to play with Stephen Curry and vice versa. The two were able to compete together during the summer in the Paris Olympics, and watching them on the floor together showed that if they ever played on the same NBA team, it would be a problem for the league. The one way James would get to the Warriors is if he waives his no-trade clause first, and the Warriors send the Lakers Jonathan Mingo, Andrew Wiggins and possibly Tracy Jackson Davis. That would hurt the depth of the team, but when you have James and Curry on the same team, you figure out the other stuff later. It's uncertain what a trio of James, Curry and Dr. and Green can do together in their careers now, but that is something that the NBA world deserves to see. Their Warriors have been active ahead of the trade deadline and have been linked to Zach LaVine and Jimmy Butler, but getting James would be bigger than both of those players at this moment. Warriors' forgotten draft miss is hampering franchise more than ever. James Wiseman is so often that player fans will point to when it comes to the Golden State Warriors' poor recent drafting history, having faithfully taken US big man with the second overall pick in 2020. There's a host of players the Warriors missed out on from that draft, most notably future All-Star guards LaMelo Ball and Tyrese Halliburton. Some may even look at the 2021 draft as a pair of mistakes in hindsight, with Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody still on the roster but having passed on the likes of Franz Wagner, and San and Trey Murphy. Three Golden State's most recent draft selections have been more fruitful under Mike Dunleavy Jr., with the general manager taking Brandon Podmski, Tracy Jackson Davis and Quinten Post since taking over in 2023. One Warrior miss that goes under the radar is after their championship in 2022, having taken a risk on Patrick Baldwin Jr. with the 28th overall pick at the end of the first round. Such a selection is always skeptical at best, but Baldwin has amounted to very little as an NBA player so far. He did show some promise with the Warriors in his rookie season, offering an intriguing blend of size and shooting, having shot 38.1% from three-point range in his limited minutes. It wasn't enough for Golden State to consider a future with the 6'9" forward, involving him in the Jordan Poole-Chris Paul trade that landed him with the Washington Wizards. Baldwin has since failed to solidify an NBA future, playing in 60 games and less than 600 total minutes over the last two seasons. The 22-year-old has averaged just 4.6 minutes in 22 games this season, with his career now in serious jeopardy given the Wizards had declined his fourth-year player option. Again, a late first-round pick comes with no guarantees, but the Warriors did pass on multiple players who have turned into legitimate rotation or starting level players. Peyton Watson was taken 2 selections later and is now averaging nearly 25 minutes per game for a top 4 seed in the Denver Nuggets, while Andrew Nard was taken at pick 31 and was a starter on an Indiana Pacers team that made the Eastern Conference Finals even in the mid-30s. Max Christie is now a starter for the Los Angeles Lakers, and Jalen Williams would undoubtedly be helpful for Golden Golden State as a stretch big. While much of the drafting criticism centers around Wisden and the other lottery picks the Warriors had, taking Baldwin as a late first rounder shouldn't go under the radar. Warriors could land LeBron James in a huge blockbuster trade after Anthony Davis left Lakers. The Lakers shocked the NBA by trading Anthony Davis, leaving LeBron James in an uncertain situation, with the Warriors looking to maximize Stephen Curry's final years. Could a blockbuster deal bring LeBron to Golden State? The NBA world is still reeling from the Lakers' stunning decision to trade Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks, a move that might leave LeBron James in an unfamiliar position without a proven co-star, or at least having to deal with a new one. While James remains committed to competing, letting for a title, the reality is that at 40 years old his championship window is rapidly closing, and it might not help that the King wasn't consulted before the trade happened. Meanwhile, across the state, the Golden State Warriors are navigating their own crossroads, desperately trying to build one last contender around Stephen Curry after dealing with inconsistent play from their roster, with James and Curry setting the international world on fire with Team USA in the 2024 Olympics. Could that chemistry carry over to the NBA in a jaw-dropping blockbuster trade for the Mavericks? Their decision to move Luka Doncic was fueled by mounting concerns over his conditioning. Reports indicated Doncic had ballooned to 20,070 pounds, raising red flags about his long-term fitness. Dallas ultimately prioritized defense and stability over the uncertainty surrounding their young superstar, who is reportedly stunned by this deal. Now the Lakers find themselves in a similarly precarious position. LeBron, fresh off losing his longtime running mate, could very well be next in line for a franchise-altering move. Golden State has been eyeing a shake-up after a lackluster season, and what better way to reignite their dynasty than by pairing two of the greatest players in NBA history? Stephen Curry has placed the Warriors on blast earlier in the season that he won't accept an average team, and this is the chance for a massive change. If LeBron wants one final chance at a ring, linking up with Curry might be his best shot. The Lakers aren't yet committed to a full rebuild, but James' future in Los Angeles could be suddenly up in the air. Would the Warriors pull the trigger on a trade that could define the twilight of Curry's legendary career? Let's go through it. For years, NBA fans have dreamed about Stephen Curry and LeBron James teaming up, and now Golden State has the chance to make it a reality with the Warriors in an uncertain transition phase. This move would signal an all-in push to chase one last championship before Curry's career winds down. Adding LeBron to a team that still has Draymond Green and Steve Kerr gives the Warriors a legitimate shot at contending immediately. The chemistry between Curry and James has been on full display with Team USA, and now they could bring that dominance to the NBA. Of course, James isn't the player he was at his peak, but he's still an elite force, averaging 24.0 points, 7.6 rebounds and 9.1 assists this season. He remains one of the smartest and most impactful players in the league. His ability to run the offense, create for others and elevate his teammates would take immense pressure off Curry, allowing the two to co-lead in ways reminiscent of LeBron's partnership with Dwayne Wade in Miami. The Warriors' offense, which has been inconsistent outside of Curry's brilliance, would instantly become one of the league's most dangerous. Again, defensively, the Warriors would need to compensate for losing Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins, two of their better perimeter defenders. That could be a concern that the Warriors did not want to offer Kuminga a new long-term deal, and this could be a chance to avoid that situation. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of LeBron James? Leave your opinion in the comments.